Hello everybody, it is I, Darcy, joined as always by Kris. Welcome to the Unnamed Podcast, the podcast where we sit here for roughly an hour-ish and talk rubbish-ish.
Vicious.
Yes. Is that Cardle?
Sounded like it.
I'm going to check it out. But yes, anyway, class is free. What was the time on that? 3 minutes.
I don't know, we should close these doors.
You should. Hey,
what the fuck? Why is it up to me?
I'm busy.
Oh no.
You're out of lemon.
I am out of lemon. And it was cool.
You forgot you're out of lemon, didn't you?
Somehow in our world, warm has become a flavour.
You know what?
Yes. Yes, it has. So is drinkable. Apparently drinkable is also a flavour.
I mean, I would prefer drinkable.
Piss vinegar.
Right.
And then you don't prefer drinkable.
I mean, technically a lot of things are drinkable. I should have...
Well,
I
technically,
should have expanded on that.
technically, you can drink fucking...
Extremely deadly poison.
Is that what it's called? Would you like to drink this extremely deadly poison? Why? I don't see why not. Actually, now that you
Is
mention
it drinkable? Yes.
Klaus, come get the extremely drinkable poison.
I know one of them.
Hemlock.
It's not the one I'm thinking of, though.
It is one of them.
It is.
You can drink hydrochloric acid.
I reckon I looked it up.
You shouldn't.
You shouldn't know.
You can
But
drink
no.
bleach.
Again, you shouldn't.
You can
Cloudy
inject
ammonia.
bleach straight into your veins.
You could. Drink cloudy ammonia.
You can drink pneumonia?
Cloudy ammonia.
Oh. Yes, you can drink pneumonia, if you're wondering.
How the fuck do you drink that?
It's a joke from Top Gear.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, Jeremy Clarkson got pneumonia
Ah,
while he was in a very sunny place.
that's pretty funny.
And then when did you go past the store? Did the store sell you pneumonia? This pneumonia, did it clear up? Was it really bad in the morning and then cleared up towards the end of the evening?
That was pretty good.
And then he was like, I had to go to this place. And they went, yes, Jeremy Clarkson raced to a friend's yacht. No. Yes, they pretty much made the joke that his pneumonia that he was in hospital for was just him getting drunk.
Fair. Ah, fluoroantimonic acid was the one I was thinking of.
Not a poison. That's an acid.
It is an acid. But it is extremely deadly.
Yeah, drinking most acids. Like hydrofluoric acid,
Look, we can look it up later.
it is interesting because, right, all acid is deadly to poison.
Well, yes.
Nope.
It's not a point. It is deadly.
All acid is deadly to poison. That is the exact words that came out of my... No, all acid is deadly to humans. Like, even your stomach acid ain't great.
It's true.
So you can burn up your esophagus and shit.
I'm aware.
Yeah. And melt your teeth and shit like that.
Yes.
Don't vomit all the time. It's not good. If you are vomiting all the time, get help.
Yes.
But no, yeah, all acid is deadly to people.
I'm aware.
It entirely depends on how it's applied.
Yes, true.
It's like, this is the least deadly
On
of
the
all.
skin every morning.
This is the least deadly of all the acids. And what I'm going to do with it, because it won't kill you, is I'm going to drip it on your forehead over and over again. Oh, it's eaten a hole through your fucking head. No, but I'm pretty sure like hydrofluoric, and I could be mistaken, but hydrofluoric is like really, really bad for people
Yes. So is fluoroantimonic acid.
because hydrofluoric, if it gets on your bones, it'll just destroy all the calcium.
Yeah, nice.
Then you have rubber bones. Which, hilarious, not good for living.
Yeah, no, great.
All of my bones are rubber. I'm dying horrible. I'm dying horribly.
Yeah, that's fair.
I fired my employee for eating. Chris, that's happening to you. It's in the contract.
But I haven't eaten.
I'm gonna call bullshit on that. You're 27.
Shit.
I know you can survive a long time without food. But not that long.
Shit.
It's the longest thing you can live without. Well, actually, no, that's not true. Again, that's human touch. Jokes. We have them.
Yes.
Anyway, what were we talking? Oh yeah, that's right. Channel news.
I don't even think we got even to the words channel news.
Right. Well, sorry about the interruption and the discussion about acid. Welcome to the podcast where we sit here and talk rubbish for about an hour. We got easily distracted.
Yes.
Twice. Once about Liechtenstein, once about acid. You don't get to see the Liechtenstein one, but needless to say, they have all the tank shells. No, that all comes from a story I read where, and I want to put this out there because I find this stuff so stupid to say aloud and to even write a news article about it. The US Army are apparently going to have all the tank shells. They're going to have unlimited tank shells. What they're going to do is they're going to keep making tank shells for the tanks that they currently have. As opposed to not making tank shells and then in like 10 years being like, oh, we used them all. Whoops. Did we want more? Stupid news article.
Yeah.
But it did lead us onto a thing about Liechtenstein having all the tank shells because why not?
Yeah.
They're the only country in the world that doesn't want to run out.
No, yeah. 100%.
Drinkable lemon.
Drinkable.
It's
Which
crazy.
is what started us on the acid thing.
Crazy what you can get away with not refrigerating.
Again, people do drink acid every day.
Yes. They also drink alkaline every day.
It's true.
And those two cancel each other out.
I'm aware. Just saying.
Like, if you have a large amount of acid, there's two ways to get rid of it. Put a bunch of people in there so that it eventually just runs out of acid.
Look, I was gonna say, look,
Or
that's
fill
what
it with base.
That's what led me to the memory of
Acid.
Sean accidentally getting a drop of phosphoric acid in his eye.
Phosphoric. Did you lick it?
No, he went and washed it out.
Oh,
It's probably the smarter thing
a
to
little
do.
bit boring.
I know, right?
Could have let it just eat away. No, see, that's the issue, though. You get some acids in your eye, you're like, oh, that's okay, I'll just go wash it out, everything's fine, eyesight not blurry, I should probably go see a optometrist
Yes.
and get it, make sure there's nothing wrong, but I washed it out, everything's fine. You get other acids in your eye, and it's like, oh my god! Ah!
This one is, its clean up is warm soapy water.
That's the saddest acid I've ever.
I know, right?
Yeah, how do you clean up this acid? I thought I got rid of that.
Warm soapy water. It's also what they put in Coke.
Warm soapy water. Chris, that
No,
sounds
phosphoric acid.
that sounds like slander.
No, the acid.
Ah, yeah.
It's in the
So he got
MSDS.
coke in his eye.
No, actually, no. He was grabbing some rust converter out of hand's reach, and the lid was slightly in his eye. So it wasn't Coke, no.
So basically, what you're saying is that you should have been there and gone, you call that acid in the eye? That's acid in the eyes! I need to go to a hospital now.
I mean, I could have. I was there.
Chris, why did you pour acid in your eyes? I just wanted to show Sean he was being a baby. It was a terrible mistake.
I can't see!
But I feel he now knows
Like, it was an
how I
immediate-
feel about him and his babyish ways.
I immediately knew what happened. Because he's like, shit. Oh, God. Acid in the eye? Yes. Should probably go watch that.
Chris just went, acid in the eye again. Now that's slander.
Now he knows what it feels like.
Actually,
I don't have to do it to him later.
No,
What?
no, it is libel. Slander is written, libel is spoken.
True.
The more you know. It's my arm. Channel news.
We keep getting distracted.
Welcome back to the channel news. Let's cover that.
Yes.
The Room 2 went out today. Finally.
Okay, yes.
That's excellent. That is done. I'm wiping my hands with that.
Yes.
What went out on Monday? I can't remember. Something went out on Monday.
Call of Duty?
Great game. Great game went out on Monday.
Oh, great game.
Overwatch, great game.
Overwatch,
Great
yes.
game. I'm sure I made a reference to it somewhere. I don't know.
Maybe?
Possibly.
I didn't
So-
actually read it, I just saw it.
Close. There we go, closed. So yeah, they've come out.
Yeah.
That's great. That's good stuff's coming out. Still got the Hitman's.
Yep.
You know the Hitman's I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
They're there. gotta edit the raft. Oh, this is fun for everyone because I brought it up last week. The Phasmophobia video.
Yep.
That Kris didn't sync right.
Yeah.
I'm going to show Kris, because Kris went through and was like, I'm pretty sure this is where it ended. No,
It's not there.
I'm going to go and I'm going to show him the edit because I finally sunk it all up. And it's made several videos out of it. But I finally did it. And the thing is, right, I did exaggerate last week. There weren't like 50. However,
It was a lot.
every single point that could have been a sync, I had to mark. Because Kris didn't do it right. And then from that point, I then had to check it against the audio and be like, that's wrong. And then go to the next one, and then go to the next one, and then go to the next one. And then I found ones that I hadn't even seen yet because they were so deep in the video, and I was like, wait, the what? What? And I went to those. And eventually I found it, and I was like, excellent. Excellent. And then I went to the other point where we sunk because my footage was full, and I had to, and we had to resync.
Yes.
And I was like, okay, here's Kris syncing. Nope. That one was done right, so it only took me 2 attempts to find the one
well, that's
that's
good.
using.
Yeah.
But the first one is just you going 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It doesn't match the syncing. It just didn't. I was like, oh, this is Kris going 1, 2, 3, 1. And I'm like, yeah, that's perfect. No, apparently that was you just testing to make sure it would work.
Oh no, I fucked up. My mind just went on a tangent while I was doing it. I'm like, shit, I'm gonna have to do this again.
Yep, I'm just sitting there like,
Pretty sure.
Because I'm like, oh, that's because it looked perfect, and when I put it next to the audio, it even matched. And then I went a little bit further, and there was another syncing thing, and I was just like,
Did I not mention it when it happened?
no, there's a part where I say where you just forget the words.
Yeah, that was the thing.
So they are finally in a state ready to be edited.
Let's put. He told me about this. He walked away after the podcast. I opened it up and looked, and for the first 2 minutes of him being gone, I was pissing myself laughing. So I realised how much I switched between those screens.
Makes my life hard. But I did edit all of the Mario Kart
Okay. Yep.
and all of the Smash Bros.
Yes. Sweet.
They didn't require much editing. They were pretty good.
I imagine they would have been good.
They weren't bad, except for the fact that I was losing all the races. That was terrible.
I won most of them.
Yeah, I know. Hence why one of them is literally called Doing a Kris.
That's fair.
So yeah, they're already coming out. We're back up to having many videos and needing to record more stuff. So as always, if you have any suggestions, please let us know. I probably own the game already.
Possibility.
I own a lot of crap.
Yeah.
I do. I really do.
Yeah.
And you look over there and you say, oh, that's quite a few games. They're not even games that I play at the moment. None of them are playable. They're not playable games. They're just there to look pretty.
Okay. How are they not playable?
I have better versions of them.
Oh, doesn't mean they're not playable.
No! You cannot touch them. They're not playable. I
Fine.
have updated better versions, though.
Fine.
It's like, I think up there you've got the Halo Master Chief Collection,
Yes.
Halo 5s,
Yes.
Halo 5s, multiple Halo
Close
5s.
enough.
Actually, okay, there's not. There may have been 2 cases of Halo Reach up there, because I own the game. I own the game like 4 times. I don't know why, it hasn't changed. Then there's Halo Anniversary,
Yes.
which is right next to Halo Original. Now, the Halo Original has to be there because that's the original. That's Combat Evolved.
Of course.
That's the start of everything.
Oh yeah, of course.
But Halo Anniversaries in Halo Master Chief Collection. Halo Master Chief Collection I own on the PC and the Xbox digitally as well as on disc.
This is how he spends his money.
There's just
Buying multiple versions of the same game.
no. I did that with GTA 5.
I mean, to be fair, a lot of people have.
I own it on the Xbox twice. No, Xbox 360 twice.
Okay.
I own it on the PlayStation once. PlayStation 4, obviously.
Yes.
I own it on PlayStation 3. No, PlayStation 4. But like one of the PlayStation, I can't fucking remember because it's been released so many.
Look, I have it on the PS3, the PS4, and the Xbox.
Then I bought it on the Xbox One. I'll be the judge of that. We're making them orange. Wait, my eyes are blue. We're making them orange. I can't do that. How could I stay inside the lines? I can't see my own eyes.
Yeah. That's a problem.
Isn't that a weird fact?
It is.
They're the one part of you can't look at.
Yeah.
Ever.
Not
Not
directly.
internals, but you know.
Yeah.
Well, that's a bit grim. You can see your internals, actually, if you feel. Don't do it.
Yeah, it's not a good idea.
Where were we? Fuck. Oh yeah, Kris sucks. You make my life hard.
Oh yeah.
Harder than it needs to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't actually remember what we were talking about. We got distracted again. I'm sorry.
It was the channel news.
Channel news. We talked about it.
We released Mario Kart. They were pretty easy to do.
Yeah, they were very easy. A lot of editing being done. Oh yeah, games. I own many games.
Oh yeah.
Look at them all.
That's right. You were going through.
And they're only the ones that match with the things that are on the shelves with them.
Yes. I don't know if they heard anything you just said.
Well, they did. Everything's being picked up. Boop, boop, boop.
It's true, but
Boop, boop.
I don't know. It might have cut out.
Oh, this kid. Anyway, you got Halo on the Halo shelf, and underneath the Halo shelf,
Okay, fine. It's picking up.
you've got. Oh well, that's just Pikachu.
Indeed, it is.
That's because I haven't yet framed that game.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
If you don't know the story, have we talked about the story behind Let's Go Pikachu?
I'm pretty sure we have.
Long story short, I bought that game for a Pokemon.
Yeah.
Not even in that game. That game. Well, no. I ended up playing that game to completion.
They did.
It's very easy.
I'm aware.
Very easy. But yeah, I bought that game so that both me and Kris could get a Mew. I'm pretty sure it was so we could get a Mew.
Yes, it was indeed the Mew.
And
In a different game.
yeah. So I'm gonna frame that, and so when people say, "Why is that game of Pokemon framed?" I can be like, because I went and spent 50 real human dollars to buy a game so that I could get a real fake non-human Mew in a game I haven't played since I bought that game.
It's true.
Magic.
But could Mew make himself look like a human? He can turn into any other Pokemon.
So he could turn into a Mr. Mime
He could.
and then bang Ash's mum.
Oh, he could. How do you know that that's not what the Mr. Mime actually is? Mew is Ash's real father.
Giant sack of sperm. I just had some images of Mr. Mime I don't want to have anymore.
You should stop that.
I'm gonna stop drinking some drinkable lemon and change to hard vodka.
Yes. Might help it a little more.
Anyway, yeah, so I own heaps of games. So if you have any suggestions, please do put them in and we'll have a look and see if we can make it happen.
Yes. As long as it's good.
No, it doesn't even have to be good.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't have to be good.
But if it's not, we will make one of it.
If it's not, I might not own it. I probably do. I buy things for no reason. Heck, I recently bought a game I can't actually play. Resident Evil 4. You need a next-gen console.
Yeah, you do.
But I'm not worried about that because by the time I get round to playing Resident Evil 4, the remake,
You will have the next-gen console.
yes, I still haven't played Resident Evil 0 yet, or 1. I'm still not decided where to start. There's an order to these things.
I know there's an order. We've discussed it before.
I don't like it.
I was just briefly thinking of whether to actually start with 1 or 0.
Yeah, I know, actually, it's difficult.
Like, ideally, you'd start with 0. Then
No,
again,
ideally, you'd start with 1 because that's the game that started the stuff.
it's
So
true.
0 technically wouldn't make sense without 1. However,
True.
chronologically speaking, 0 has to come before 1.
Well,
It's
yes.
a prequel story. So it's like, do I start chronologically or do I start with the game that started it all?
I mean, I'd
Remake.
I'd probably, I'd probably go chronologically.
Yes. But what if there's things that don't make sense in that game because I haven't played Resident Evil 1 yet?
Why would they do that? It's a prequel.
Because they're assuming that you've played the game from, I don't know, 1996? Before playing the game from the mid-2000s.
Poor choices and assumptions.
I don't know why they do anything.
That's
I'm
fair.
very confused. Why would you make a game and call it Zero? Why doesn't the Xbox store my games in order?
Oh yeah, no, that's something.
These are all questions that live in my brain, rent free.
Every time he looks at his list of games.
I really hate the fact that they called Gears of War 5 just Gears.
Oh, they did too, didn't they?
Gears 5. Gears 5. And it's like, it's out of order.
It is. It is indeed out of order.
I hate the fact that the Tomb Raiders, they all gave different titles, so they're just like Tomb Raider 1, Tomb Raider 2, Tomb Raider 3. They're all over the fucking place. They're all over the shop.
Yes. Yes, they are.
The rage I feel cannot be expressed.
No,
But it's so fucking high.
I know it is.
Because occasionally you just want to scroll through games and you're like, oh yeah, I'll play this one, I'll play this one, I'll play this one. And it's like, okay. But then it's like, I'll play this game. And then you're like, well, wait, no, this is the sequel to a game that's further down that I haven't played yet. So then I go down and it's like,
You should be up higher.
you should be up high. You should be next to the game and you should be... I don't know why the Xbox just can't do it. But it should really just... when you put a game on the store, you should say if it's a prequel or a sequel to another game. Yes? Okay.
Yeah.
Everyone's agreed. We should have this. And then when you buy it and put it in the thing, if you have the sequel or the prequel, it should just slot in next to it and be like, da-da.
Which one do they put first in the list? God of War or God of War?
God of bitch slaps. No.
They both have the same fucking name.
But which comes... No, I don't think that's an issue though.
Well, God of War comes first. God of War was the fourth one.
Well, yes, but there's the brackets.
But did they put brackets?
I'm pretty sure if you look it up, it's like God of War 18 if officially. Like if you were to look up a list.
Okay.
Oh, not an issue because you can't play the original God of War.
Gotcha.
Where are you going to buy it from? It's not on the PlayStation Store.
You sure? I'm fairly certain I have it.
I'm fairly sure.
I could be wrong.
I have found God of War 3, but I've never seen anything. God of War 3 remake.
Yes.
Or deluxe edition, or whatever the fuck they called it.
Something like that. I can't remember.
God of War PS Store. Or PSS. Or PS.
But, I don't need to right now, but okay.
They probably don't want me calling it PS.
Yeah, probably not.
Get a better name.
I mean, they might have put it out in the new thing.
I'm on the store. I'm searching God of War.
Fair.
I'm pressing the search button.
Do it.
It is thinking.
Okay.
I can buy God of War on PlayStation Hits.
Yes.
God of War Ragnarok for PS4. God of War Ragnarok for PS4 or PS5.
Yes.
That's both.
Yes.
God of War Diligent. Those aren't words.
Yeah, no, there
God
was.
of War. God of War Digital Deluxe Edition.
Oh, okay. Yes, yes.
God of War 3 Remastered.
Yep.
God of War Ragnarok, the Digital Deluxe. Wait, what? Deluxe Edition. We didn't have that before.
No, it wasn't up there.
God of War Digital Comic Book.
Okay. Yep.
Little Big Planet God of War Mini Pack.
Okay. Yep.
Little Big Planet God of War Kratos.
But is that the new Little Big Planet or is the old one?
Don't know.
Oh, actually no, because the new one's called Sackboy. It is number 3.
God of War Digital Comic Book Bundle.
Oh.
Little Big Planet Zeus.
Yes.
Lamb of God Rock Band.
Nice.
Ghost Athena. Gems of War.
Okay. Yep. Yep.
Shadow of War. Shadow of War 4K Cinematic Pack. Why would you what?
Huh.
Gems of War.
It's going to be a decent list because it's going to show
Starter
everything
pack.
with war in it.
It's going to show me everything with of in it and God. I'm literally up to
that's
Ash
a
of
good-
Gods. God Eater 3. God Eater 3 action demo. End of Gods. There's another word in front of that, but I don't know what that word is. God
What?
Eater 2. Wow.
What's the word in front?
Absolve.
Huh.
Absolve. It's absolve. No, it's not.
No.
Absolve.
I don't
I'm going to have to look up how to spell absolve now. I always thought it was ab.
It is.
God Eater free offer. There are
And-
6 pages of this, Chris. I cannot see anything other than God of War, though.
Hold on, let me...
Curse!
Hey, look.
Injustice, Gods Among Us. We're literally... Okay, now we're up to Ghosts of Tsushima.
What? Oh.
It's got Ob in it.
Oh my god.
Wait, hang on, what? Oh, okay, sorry. Mafia 3,
Yes.
Signs of the Times. I was a bit worried about that one, because I was like, there's no... But it has an Ob in it. Mortal Kombat X. Cold War Scorpion.
I will find...
Civil War, Wolfenstein, The New Order. That doesn't even have any of those words in it.
No, it doesn't. Where are the classics? Was it in the classics?
God of Rock. Kris, we've gone down a rabbit hole here.
We have. We should probably stop looking at the rabbit hole.
I have. I've put it away.
Oh,
You
right.
cannot buy the original God of War on the PlayStation Store. I'm willing to go out there and say that.
Okay.
It's been said.
It's been said.
I am willing to be proven wrong on that one, but from my brief look, when Ghosts of Tsushima come up before the game with the actual title, it's true. You're a little bit iffy.
Fair.
A little bit iffy.
But I may have the first game on disc.
Oh, yip-de-doo.
Just saying. I might have it.
Why don't you go write a poem about it?
Hell no. I did enough of that in grade 8, 9 and 10.
Wrote poems about God of War.
No, we just had to fucking do poetry
Kris
3
wants to
years
shove
in a
and
row.
rip people's heads from their body.
A term every year for 3 years.
Yeah, it's pretty shit.
Poetry. Why? No.
Because maybe you want to become a Lord Byron-esque figure who sits around in his parlour writing poetry all day and then, I don't know, dying of tuberculosis. It was the hip thing to do back then.
Look, I may have aced those every year. I just didn't care enough to remember any of it. At all.
It's actually something I learned.
Actually, I don't think anyone in my class got below an A.
Interesting. Many a year ago I learned pretty much the funniest thing ever.
Yes.
Which was that back in the past it was the done thing and quite popular to die of tuberculosis.
No.
Which is
Interesting.
not great.
No.
I want to be fashionable. I shall die of tuberculosis, so I thank you.
I don't think I'd want to do that.
Oh, you always chasing the trend, Kris. Always chase.
I don't chase
the
trend.
trend.
But you almost screwed it up for me too.
I know, right? I'm just all over the place today.
Oh, yes.
Actually, I do have a question for you.
Yes.
It comes so today I was driving to the beach, as I do, for my employment. Fun.
Yes.
And I was driving behind this car, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, before I had even passed it, I knew that it was a elderly person driving it.
Yes.
Because they were driving along, and about every 5-6 seconds they were applying their brakes. Oh, I'm doing 60 in the 70 zone. Apply my brakes. You know, they're classic.
Yo.
And I was kind of sitting there and I thought to myself, I should probably ask Kris. Kris, does there come a time in life where you take your parents' driving license off them for the sake of everyone else?
I feel like there would be.
Man, how when do you think this time comes? Like, what's the sign that you'd go, sorry, Dad, you're not driving anymore?
It's a good question.
I was just wondering because I was
I
driving.
mean, I feel like I'd have to be in the car with them driving. And to be honest, if
feel like if once your dad
we're in
hits
the car together at any point, I'm driving.
So like you're saying, like once your dad hits like 70, you're gonna be like, Dad, why don't we go for a drive? You drive. And he'll be like, but Kris, you always drive. And you'll be like, today you drive.
No.
And then you just like sit there with your little tick book.
Yeah.
No, don't pay attention to what I'm running. Just keep driving. Yes. Okay. Congratulations, Dad. You get to keep your license for today. I'll see you next week. No, but like, yeah, no, because I was just thinking about it. I'm like driving behind this lady, and like, you know, it's a 70 zone going into an 80 zone going into a 100 zone. You know how that works.
Yes.
And I'm just like, at 70, we're getting to like 60, and then they're applying the brakes, like not just like slowing down, but like brake, like cadence braking. And I'm just kind of like, surely if. And then they're sitting in the driving wheel. You know how old people sit in the driving wheel like this, kind of hunched over, like.
Yes.
Everything's scary. I don't hate old people. I feel there's a time as a child, you know, your parents taught you how to drive, and when there must come a point where, as a child, you look at your parents and say, "Thank you for everything you've done, but I'm taking this for the sake of everyone." Now, I'm not just like talking about danger. I'm like, surely there comes a point where you're just like, I would prefer if you weren't on the road.
This is a discussion I've even had with Dad. Is at a certain point, I reckon you need to start having a test every year, at least.
Yeah.
To make sure that you're still good enough to drive. Now, my grandfather, he's only allowed to drive through the day.
Ice.
Yes. So, however, if it's raining, he won't drive.
Fair enough.
So
my mum doesn't like driving in the rain. She's not that old.
Yeah.
She just doesn't like driving in the rain. Fair enough. Yeah. People don't.
He just doesn't do it now.
Hard to run your life that way.
It is. It's
raining. Can't go out.
That's pretty much what they do. Because my grandmother can't drive.
Like, lost her license or just never had one?
I think she had one, but she never, at a certain point, she just didn't renew it. So...
Well, see,
that's been many years.
Ideally, that would be the thing, wouldn't it? When you go to renew it after a certain age, they kind of go... Because, you know, like...
You can't pay for 5 years. You have to pay for a year. We'll see you next year.
Right now, I don't need glasses while I'm driving. I don't have hearing aids. I don't have any assistance while I'm driving.
Correct.
However, you know, considering everyone else in my family wears glasses,
yes,
there will come a time, be it due to my age and my aging eyes no longer being able to absorb light,
yes,
I will probably need glasses.
Yes.
But my driver's license, if I just keep renewing it, it doesn't say that I need glasses.
No.
Because I don't currently.
Correct.
And I do keep renewing it. I'm just... Next one.
Yeah.
And this is like something that's crazy, because I learned about it this year.
Yeah.
Well, my last time I updated, which was like last year, this year, one of these years.
Yeah.
You're supposed to get your picture updated.
Every 10 years.
Ooh.
Oh, they've changed
5 years.
Oh, they've changed it.
If it's 5 years out of date, it's bad.
Oh, mine's like, when I go to get mine...
Which is fair, because my picture before my most current one was me when I was 16. Now, granted, at 16 you've started to become the adult you will be.
Yes.
There's less changes than from a kid.
Yes.
And people go like, oh, you don't change. You do. Really, you do. Go back and look at a picture of you as a kid, then compare it to a picture now, and you'll be like, oh yeah, no, okay, yeah, things have changed. Like, literally, I've seen a picture of myself as a child and went, that's a girl, and everyone, that's you, and I went, oh, that is me.
Shit.
I'm like, that's my shirt, and it's like, because as a child, you do have fairer features and everything.
Yes.
These things do change as you grow.
Correct.
Yeah.
And then you've got the whole thing about putting on weight, losing weight. There's a lot of things.
Variations.
Yes.
Growing a beard. When I was 16, I could not grow a beard.
Well, let's put it this way. I haven't shaved this... Well, I've shaved it off once in the last...
He's reaching for his keys. He's gonna key me!
No. I shaved this off once in the last 6 years?
It's because of your weak chin, isn't it?
I do not have a beard in this.
Yeah, I know. And you're also chubby.
Yes.
And have a bowl cut. And look about 16.
It's not...
The eyes are the same, though. Dead and fish-like.
So, that one was...
Dead fish eyes.
I got it done.
Oh.
So, when I went for my second... to renew it after my piece, they said I didn't... I needed to, because I changed quite a bit between the previous one and that one.
I just realised what it was.
Because in grade 10 I was a twig.
I had to get a picture.
Yes.
For a different card.
Yes.
But to do that, I had to update my driver's license card.
Makes sense.
And that's supposed to be updated every 5 years. But they were like, oh, so was it updated in the last 5 years? And I went, no, I've had the same one since I was 16. And they went, you're 26. And I'm like, the people at the thing have just gone, yeah, okay, here's your new one. And then I got my new license.
Yeah.
Late last year. Because of all the crap Optus shit.
Yeah.
Where they were like, hey, we just gave out your license number to some rando.
Yeah.
And so I got the new one, but it has the new picture on it because of the update. So
Well, yes.
that's why. My one I had before that did not have the new picture on it.
Yeah.
It was just the old one.
Yeah. So what it was I said when I got my license, I was a twig. I had barely any. Oh shit.
That's my old one.
Oh god.
That's literally the license that was replaced last year.
What? I mean, this is like a 50-50 with this one. Some features you look male, other features you look female.
No, because I was a child.
I guess. But like I said, when I got
very attractive.
when I got mine, I was an absolute twig, and then obviously you saw that
It's
one.
actually why I do keep facial hair though, because
That's fair.
effeminate features.
So yeah,
That and I was once told by people we worked with at Bunnings
yes.
that, well, I said to them, I got my driver's license, and they were like, what? I'm like, yeah, I got my P's last night, and they were like, you're 15. I was like, no.
I'm not.
No, I'm not.
No, I'm not.
I'm not. And yeah, so like pretty much every time I shave, people are like, you look about 10 years younger. I'm like, that's terrible news to me.
Oh, don't.
And they're like, what? Everyone wants to look younger. I'm like, no, I'm in my 20s. Looking younger, looking 10 years younger is, you look like a teenager.
Yes, it is. Oh man. But like I said, I had to get it changed.
I don't like it.
I had to get it changed the time before. So not last time, I renewed it the time before.
Mm.
So when I went back in, thinking, oh, I probably have to change my photo again. They're like, no, you're good. You got to change it every 10 years. At the time, they said 10 years.
Yeah, but I also don't think the people there know.
Probably not.
Because I didn't find out about that till I went on the website and was looking it up. Because as I said, I need to get it for a different piece of identification. And I was like, yeah, you can get any piece of identification through the government using your any photo using your driver's license. And then in there was like one of those fucking stars. And I was like, your driver's license on file must be within 5 years.
Is that saying that...
No, because it's like, it said, and then there was like the next part, driver's license should be updated every 5. Driver's license, the image on, it pretty much said, it has to be from within the last 5 years.
Yes.
And that you have to check that your stuff is kept up to date, and that you pretty much have to keep it up to date for the last 5 years.
Which means they should have done it last time when I questioned it.
They really should have, because the thing is, you have to keep it within a 5-year period, pretty much. Is pretty much what the government said. You have to keep it within a 5-year period. But if it's not, that's not on us, that's your fault. And it's like, but you go in and you say, hey, do I need to do anything? And they say, no, just pay for it and off you go. And it's like, oh, sweet. So it's like, you've done your due diligences, but technically speaking, if your photo is over 5 years old, it is illegal. It's an outdated photo. It doesn't show you.
Yeah.
So it's like, technically speaking, you should be getting a new photo every time you go for your license.
As long as you pay for 5 years. And it's
Which
pointless
is
not to pay for 5 years.
fair, because that's kind of like you updating your information every time you update your information.
Yes.
But
Yeah,
no.
'cause,
So I found that out and I was like, oh. And I went in, I need to get a new photo for my driver's license. They went, oh, yeah, no problem. Yeah, all good. And they went, so when was your last one? I was like, oh, when I was like 16. They were like, oh, yeah, definitely need a new one.
Oh, yeah.
And I was just like, yeah.
Because like after I took...
But every other time I've come in, you guys have been like, oh, no, just give us the paperwork.
Yeah.
And it's like, so it's almost like they assume people are coming in when they're not renewing their license and be like, oh, yeah, just need to update my photo. Thank you.
Yeah.
Off I go. And it's like, no, people come to this place as little as possible because it's so inefficient. You sit here for like 2 hours and they go like, oh, yeah, we'll see you now. And you come over and you're like, hi, yeah, I just want to do this one thing that's going to take 5 seconds. Oh, yeah, no problem. And then you look back and you see like 20 people standing around having coffee and eating biscuits. And you're like, why is only two desks open when you have so many people? Oh, they're on break.
Yeah.
Well, they've been on break for 2 hours? Oh, no, it's a rotation. At least 10 of us must be on break at any one time.
Oh, yes, of course. Well, as I stopped...
Useless bureaucracy.
Once I took that photo, it was only about a year or two after that I actually stopped shaving. I stopped shaving this off. completely.
Interesting.
Yes.
I really don't care.
No, but
But
that's,
my-
that's a major difference. It's like, I
that
keep
was
this on
my point.
permanently.
Yeah, as I said, that literally was my license up until
Holy shit.
months ago, and it's
That's-
like, technically speaking, like, if I handed that to a cop, the cop could be like, "That's not you,"
They could.
and I'd be like, "Actually, that was me 13 years ago," and they'd be like, "Why isn't your photo being updated?" Because they refuse to do it.
Yes.
But yeah, no. Anyway, back to the main point, which was, yeah, because as I said, it's a weird topic to bring up, right? You don't want to go to your parents and be like, "Yoink, you're not driving anymore," because they're your parents. It's like,
I don't think I'd have a problem with it.
you probably wouldn't.
Yeah, I
However,
don't think
it wouldn't
it's a
become
great
an
time.
issue. It wouldn't become an issue for you until your sisters have been like sitting there going umming and ahhing about it for like 6 years, and then
That is
eventually
true.
you'd come forward and be like, "What the? Why haven't we taken insert parent license from them? I literally saw them driving yesterday, and it was terrible." And they're like, "Oh well, we've been thinking about it for a couple of years, but we didn't know how to breach the topic."
Take it off.
It's like this. Yoink.
You shouldn't be driving anymore. Thank you.
See, I have a real issue though, because both of my parents have like worked in the emergency services and had to do like the stupid emergency services training courses and shit. It's like,
Yes.
I'm gonna take this off you. I'm a better driver than you. You used to be.
Not anymore.
now you've got bad eyes and you can't drive 5 meters without having to piss. No, but yeah, no. I was just, as I said, I was driving along behind this old lady, and I was just like, there's got to come a time when, like, just as a society, we go, look, we know you've been driving since the automobile was invented.
Yeah.
However, you're not keeping up with the times, and it's like, you're a danger to everyone.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
You don't seem to know what you're doing. It's like, just all of these things, and it's just like, we appreciate everything you've done, but seriously, this is beyond you now.
Yes.
And like,
But
and my only problem with that is that we don't, here in Australia, we do not have the ability to really do that, because, we take that off them and then say, okay, get around Rockhampton. It's like, how?
pretty much.
We don't have public transport, so it's like,
No.
you're too dangerous to drive, but we don't have the stuff to support you getting around town.
Yeah.
So we just keep letting you drive.
much.
It's super cynical, but it's
It
because of my take on the government, especially the Queensland government.
Yeah.
It's almost like, that'll save us. You keep that driver's license and you keep driving, because that'll save us a lot of healthcare later on.
Yes.
Make sure you crash fast. Like, sometimes I feel like that is the thing. It's like,
Yeah.
if we just let you take care of yourself, because you shouldn't be driving anymore, but we're not going to do anything about it, you'll save us money in the long run.
So as I said, I don't think my grandfather's too far off of that.
No.
And I think he knows that, but
Well, see, I never had that issue with my grandparents, because my nan never really drove. Pop
really.
kind of they took everything off him when his Alzheimer's started to go
Oh,
crazy.
yeah, but that makes sense. So
I was just like, nope.
what I reckon is at a certain age, and or you get a certain medical condition where it's like, no, you actually need to do it more frequently.
Fair enough.
And if you're
I
doing
know,
it more often,
as I said, I was just driving behind this little old lady, and I was just like, with all her cadence breaking, I was just like, yeah.
it's a bit too much to be behind all the time.
Not even being behind it. You just like, when they're cadence breaking so much and they're not anywhere near the speed limit, and you're just like,
Yeah.
either you've missed the speed limit sign, possible,
Yes.
we all do it,
But yeah.
but yeah, when you're not even doing the speed limit of the area before that,
Yeah.
and you're not even like, yeah, it was pretty bad. Needless to say, it was bad enough that I was sitting there going and contemplated the thought, when do we as a society say, look, you much like a teenager needs to prove that they are capable of driving, you need to prove that you're capable of driving.
Yes.
And
But the
again, to be fair, road rules change,
regularly.
and I think both of my parents still have licenses they achieved back in the old days when it was like
Get in.
Get in the car. Drive around the paddock. Okay, yeah, you're good. Off you go.
Yeah, you get in with the cop. Get in the car with the cop. Drive in a straight line. Plant your foot. Done. Or what? So I think Dad ended up getting it that
But
way as well.
don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that the new system makes better drivers. Fuck no, they're still terrible. It's just that they're terrible, but at least they know the current road rules.
Well, yes, yeah. So the next thing is like Dad. I think he got his. He was. This is very much a get in the car with the cop, drive around the block, stop at the pub. If you ask for anything alcoholic, you failed your test. That's pretty.
It's pretty smart.
As soon as you ask for something alcoholic, so you could ask for a soft drink, water, milk.
Can I have a pie and chips and a pint of lager? Failed. I'm actually walking home. That's my car. Yeah. Good luck with that. No. But yeah, no, because that's it. I was just running behind this old lady, and I was just like, it was just one of those things where I was just kind of like, we always talk about it. Every time an old person does something stupid or just, misses a road sign or something, and there's a massive accident, everyone always talks about it. Oh, we need to do this. We need to look at this, and then nothing happens.
No one ever does. Yeah.
Because they don't want to piss off elderly people. But the truth is, and it's the truth. As you get older, we know you start to not be able to do things. Yeah. You don't see any 79-year-olds out there fucking playing basketball for the Lakers.
No.
Because, it's impractical.
Oh, yeah, of course.
At the same time, here's a great example. Dad retired this year because the government states that in the job that he was doing, being a firefighter, once you hit 65, you must retire. The second you turn 65, you must retire because you are no longer capable of doing this job.
Yes.
Now, if they can say that, why can't they say at 70 you must go for a driver's license test every 3 years?
Which is, oddly enough, the same age that Dad and I, when we were discussing it, we come up with the age of 70.
It's not terrible, It's about the time where people, you start to see the changes in people going from, I'm elderly but I'm still fully capable to I'm elderly and things are a bit difficult. I'm not saying that's the same for everyone, but at 70 is a good point to be like, now we're going to start testing it. And you go like at 70 it's every 3 years, or even at 70 it's every 5 years. Right?
That's
at 80 it's every 3 years. At 90, we just take it off you.
Oh, yeah. 100. Yeah, no, it's gone.
Don't need that anymore.
Because, and that's why you've also got to look at the medical side of things as well.
Oh, absolutely.
Because Dad, working in a nursing home, has multiple times said there are people in the nursing home younger than him. He's not 60 yet. Almost there, though.
It happens. But, this was kind of my whole point. I was just like, there comes a time when you just have to say, look, it's not safe anymore.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Again, still same trip, right? Driving along.
Yeah.
A road that I used to drive along all the time, I drive along it less now. But they've changed the speed limits. They've pulled they've made one of the zones longer.
Yeah.
So they've stopped you doing 100 a lot earlier.
Yeah.
5 cars behind me, I've slowed down to the speed of sitting there doing the whole, I'm trying to overtake him. I'm just like, first of all, double white lines, you can't overtake me. Second of all, I don't know if you've all missed it or you just drive this road all the time and you haven't paid attention to the fact that they've moved the signs, but we are now in an 80 zone. You may not like it. I don't like it. I don't think there's any reason for it. But it is not our job to question why. It is our job to follow the fucking law.
It is.
And so if the sign back there said 80 kilometers an hour, guess what we drive? 80 kilometers an hour.
Yes. It's pretty straightforward.
You may be like, oh, but I drive this road all the time and it's always been 100. Great. It used to be 100. Now it's 80. You know how you can tell? Because that sign back there that we just passed that said 80.
Just because you drive
That's an official speed sign.
just because you drive the road every day doesn't mean you ain't getting a ticket.
Well, it's like that's
Still
like
get it.
that's like my thing on highway driving, right? You know, if you're sitting behind someone, you overtake them, and then they go like, and they get really uppy at you, and then overtake you, and I just go like, whatever, man.
People had to do that to me once.
I'm doing the speed limit. So if there's a cop sitting up ahead, and trust me, there's generally a cop sitting up ahead because you're being right. Everyone's like, if a cop needs a few tickets to round himself out, let's go sit there because they know everyone's fucking speeding.
Oh yeah.
It's like,
You know the other place they do it? Between here and Gracemere.
absolutely. That's because they fucked that up, didn't they?
Oh, of course they did.
But
They
you know,
literally made it a better road that's bigger and dropped the speed limit.
that's because they reclassified.
They did indeed.
They, instead of being a highway, it's now a connection road or something, through a thoroughfare or whatever.
Yep.
It connects two suburbs instead of being a highway.
Yes.
Anyway, but then no, my point was like, because like there's this one point and the cops always sit there, like a biker cop always sits there, and I always see him because I'm like, there's the little fluoro yellow in the bushes, and like it's like almost right at the bottom of the hill. So if you're speeding, you're definitely speeding when you come through there.
Oh yeah.
And so I'm just driving. I see him all the time. He's sitting there, and he's just sitting there, standing next to a bush with his little radar.
I suppose at the
gun out.
time you go, the
School
going
traffic.
it's the easiest time.
Mhm.
Every time I've driven, I haven't seen a cop.
No, but like as I said,
But I go with like
they'll be sitting there. They literally just sit there around school traffic time because they can. They know they're going to catch people.
Yeah.
Again,
Simple.
so they're sitting there. But yeah, I just drive. I overtake someone. If someone's doing 90, I don't care what their fucking reason is. I'm overtaking you. I don't care what car you're in. I'm overtaking you. You're doing 90.
Yeah.
And if you've been fucking 90, 100, 90, 100, I'm definitely overtaking you.
Because you can't hold the speed limit.
Exactly.
Or you can't do the simple thing that most cars have these days and set cruise control.
But then they go like, especially when you overtake someone in a big, stupid fucking ute or four-wheel drive type thing, and they go, "Oh, I don't like being overtaken," and they take off, and then they're doing like 120 past you. And I'm just like, dude, I don't care. I'm now doing the speed limit steadily. I'm not having to brake and go and brake and go and brake and go.
Yep.
So I don't care if you're in front of me. If you get in front of me and slow down again, I'll just overtake you when I catch up. I will catch up because you keep slowing the fuck down.
Yep.
But until then, I don't give a fuck. I'm doing the speed limit. I'm doing the speed that I should be doing.
That's pretty obvious.
I'm going to get where I'm going at a reasonable time.
Yeah.
And if you want to just speed ahead to be in front of me because you can, well, more power to you. I'll either catch up to you or you'll get booked. Either way, not my fucking problem.
So I had a P-plater doing that once, and I overtook them.
Mm.
So they overtook me.
Mm.
But they didn't really go much faster.
No.
So by the time we got to the next overtaking lane, I overtook them again.
Mm.
And to annoy them, because they were actually doing more than the speed limit at that point, I got in front of them and then immediately slowed back down to the speed limit.
As you do.
And then they overtook me again. So I, of course, did the same thing.
The weirdest thing I've ever seen was the dude in a ute, and he was just like fucking vroom, 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 like overtaking all the traffic.
Yeah.
Mind you, I knew all the traffic was already going faster than the speed limit.
Yes.
Because I was going faster than the speed limit. And I'm sitting there and I'm just like, this guy's like, boom, boom, boom. And the traffic was flowing perfectly fine.
Mm.
But this little guy, I can't even remember if it was actually a P-plate or just a young person, but they're just boom, boom, in and out, in and out, in and out. And I'm just like, and then he got in front of me, and right in front of me was a fucking truck with a trailer, which is why, why we were going the speed we were going.
Yeah.
It was a truck with a trailer, and it was double white lines. And then he's just boom, and around that, and I'm just like, you are the type of fuckwit who I hate the most.
Mm-hmm.
One, you're speeding for no goddamn reason. As I say, it's Rockhampton. Why the fuck are you speeding? Where do you think you're going?
Yeah.
That's important.
That's pretty much it.
No way. 2, you've overtaken on double white lines. 3, you had to overtake all of this traffic that didn't really have room for you to dart in and out of, which you had to dart in and out because cars are coming the other way, which is why no one else is overtaking.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Then when you got to the front, you realised, the reason why everyone's going slower than I want to be travelling is because there's a truck in front of us.
Yes.
And then, you went and did an illegal thing and overtook the truck and took off at about 160, 170 kilometres an hour. And I was just like, It's fuckwits like that I really just go, I hope you fucking crash into a tree.
Yep.
Because you are an absolute fuckwit. And the unfortunate truth is what's actually more likely to happen is someone's going to crash into a tree because of you.
Yes.
Which is unfortunate.
Yeah.
But yeah,
It very much is.
I fucking hate people like that on the roads.
Oh, yeah.
Like
I overtake when there's a reason to.
No, absolutely.
There's times to overtake. The only trouble is when you overtake and then everyone speeds up, and it's like,
oh, I fucking hate that. No, it's worse. There is worse than that.
But what I mean is, like,
when they get to an overtaking lane, they speed up. They always do. It is the worst thing about them. What is worse? Caravanists.
Yes.
Caravanists are the fucking spiteful bastards who are travelling together.
Yes.
Go, this one speeds up and then this one pulls out next to him.
Oh, that, yeah.
And then they pull back out and it's like, so you just stopped everyone and then, we slow back down. It's like, you are the fucking worst. And as I said, I was told once by someone whose father owned a caravan shop, the reason they travel 90, it's the most fuel efficient for them. I don't give a fuck what's the most fuel efficient for them.
You made
They
the choice.
shouldn't be carrying a giant box around with behind them. It's their choice. They pay the fucking price for fuel.
It's like me buying the car I have. I made the choice. I deal with the fuel cost. That is what you do. Do the speed limit.
What annoys me even more than that, though?
What?
Okay. If you speed, that is illegal. Right?
Yes, correct.
You're speeding. Do you know it's also illegal to travel under the speed limit?
20 k's under, you have to legally pull over.
Mm-hmm.
You can travel over the speed limit, but you
cool.
can't impede traffic, which means you have to pull over.
Yep, impediment of traffic.
Yep.
And caravanists do it all the fucking time.
Yeah, but it's
because 90 is the speed limit that's best for them.
Yes.
Now, there are actually roads in Australia that have much higher speed limits than 100. 100 is mostly what we get around here, but our roads are shit. There are many roads, once you get onto good roads, that are 110, 120, this kind of stuff. 90 is far under those.
And they won't move, yeah.
And they won't move. And it's
they refuse to.
And it's just like, fuck me. If I was a cop, I'd just sit out there and be like, got him. Got that spiteful prick.
Yeah.
And I'd be taking them all to prison.
Because it's ridiculous how many people
towing their fucking caravans and pushing them off a hill.
Because I think they brought it up a few years back, and they tried to make a bit more of a point of it a few years back to say, like, if you're doing 20 k's under, legally have to pull over. Like, because it could be a situation your car literally can't do that speed.
Oh, absolutely.
That's fine.
You might be in
but if your car can't do 20 k's under the speed limit and it's only just getting there,
you really shouldn't. Well, it's kind of like this, right?
If you're on a highway, depending on where you are, depends on whether or not.
If you're on a highway in a car that can't do 100 kilometers an hour, you shouldn't be on a highway.
No.
At all, even a little bit.
No.
Fuck, there are some cars that just shouldn't be on the highway.
Now I understand if you get a steep hill and it can't do 100. That's fair. A lot of cars can't. Up a steep hill.
Okay, fair enough. I'll give you that. I'll give you that. Yeah.
But it's like, if you knock back... But then again, they only really knock back to about 90. It's not bad. In a truck, I understand a bit more that it's going to slow down more again. But it's only for...
Again, though, it depends on how they're driving. Because if you come up to a steep hill, what you really should be doing is going back down your gears.
Oh, yeah, no.
To keep your speed up.
Oh, I understand how to do it.
You know, like, if you're coming up a really steep hill and you want to keep doing 100...
You will, however, lose speed if it's as well. It's unavoidable in most cases.
But you should be revving your car to keep it at speed.
Yes, you should.
And just really using the clutch the gearbox to get you up the hill.
Yes. It's not difficult to do.
Because,
however, it is not something they often teach you when you're going for your license. And it's not something they check that you can do.
No.
Which is also not great, because that is something...
If you drive manual, how to handbrakes start by my driving instructor. Again, not tested.
Yeah, no, that same thing. As long as...
Do you know how to indicate? Can you read? You pass.
Oh, actually, no, I did get tested for a handbrake hill start.
Well done.
I did. I wasn't really on a hill, though.
Excellent.
It was a slight incline.
I think I got tested for a 3-point turn.
I did get
about 20 meters away from a roundabout, and I was like, okay.
I got tested for handbrake hill start, 3-point turn, and what was the other one? a U-turn in a T intersection.
I think I got...
That's it.
I can't even remember. It was so long ago. But I think I definitely got 3-point turn.
Mm-hmm.
As I said, though in a really odd place. And they're like, but this is a really narrow street. And I was like, probably why they put a roundabout there.
Yeah,
So,
it's 100% right.
so you don't have to 3-point turn.
Because in a narrow street, there's a lot of people that can't even do a 3-point turn.
So 3-point turn, I think I had parallel parking.
I didn't.
And
I was fine with it. I just choose not to.
well, it wasn't even, I don't think it was even reverse parallel parking. It was just parallel parking.
That's weird.
Can you drive your car in at a slight angle? Yes, I can. Well done.
Normally, those you don't. Oh wait, no, sorry. I parallel park all the time. What are we talking about? I was thinking of a reverse park.
Reverse parallel parking.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
No, because I was really worried about that because I was like,
More commonly, I don't like doing reverse parallel parks in a lot of places because people will tend to go too close to you, and you just can't get out.
I don't like reverse parallel parking because I don't like the whole while the street's going, because the only places you need to do them is in town, and
that's generally
that's where people are like, I'm trying to get past, and as you're trying to park, they'll be like scooting around you, and you're like, just fucking
There's
wait
barely
5
enough
seconds.
fucking space for this. Yeah. No, I noticed it as well. But like
I also don't ever really see the need for it. Like they go, you need a reverse parallel park here so that when you pull out, you can see everything. And it's like, right, but when I'm coming back, I can't.
Mm-hmm.
We've just moved where the issue was.
Yeah.
Ta-da! Thinking.
And that's, as I said, I've seen.
I think the other one I had to do was. What was the other one I had to do? There was I had one parking, one 3-point turn.
I just had to
It
park
was
on the side of the
probably
road.
something stupid. I had to park on the side of the road too, and I was just like,
Done.
this was good.
And they generally make you do it in a place where there's barely any cars.
They made me do it over near the showground. I had to pull onto dirt and just like, there we go.
So I was in.
I don't know what they were hoping to find in that.
So the streets in behind Lawrence's.
Yeah.
That's where I had to do it.
Weird.
They took me over there. They pretty much got into that street, did the
I was
parking
just
on the side of the
just
road.
taking the south side.
No, see, that's where I thought I was going to go, but then he told me to head there. We got to Lawrence's.
Because I got really annoyed because my instructor gave me a mark down for not indicating, and I was like,
Oh, that's right, yeah.
I was in a lane that could only turn. Like literally the lane.
And legally, you do
The
not
lane
have to
goes like
indicate.
this, turn
Yeah, and legally
onto another road, and she was like, he didn't indicate, and I was like,
don't need to.
fairly sure everyone knew what I was doing.
Well, see, here's the thing. It's a continuing road. You do not have to show your intent on a continuing road.
Well, that's my argument with everyone.
Yeah.
Because I've got into this argument with Jordan before. He goes, you got to indicate when you're coming off a roundabout. I'm like, not if you're going straight. Yeah, you got to indicate you're coming off it. I'm like, technically no. Like, because indicating says I'm turning that way or I'm turning that way. If I'm going straight through a roundabout, what way am I turning? It's like, oh no, but when you're coming off, you are turning. I'm like, no, I'm going straight. From where I started and where I'm coming out, I have travelled in a straight path. If I were to indicate, I would actually be lying to everyone. Because indicating indicates my intention to turn. Like, on a double roundabout, yes. But that again, if you, like, I'm like, if I'm in the inside lane and I'm coming off, I have to indicate because I'm crossing a lane of traffic.
Yes.
Like, so I have to indicate that I've crossed, I intend to switch lanes.
Mm.
That is correct.
Yes.
But if I'm going straight, to indicate that I've gone straight, I don't have an indicator for that.
I mean, I do it as a courtesy thing because people in this town are stupid.
They are.
Having said
But
that,
he went, oh no, but it's in the rulebook. I'm like, maybe, but you would be hard pressed to enforce it. I'm like, because I do it all the time in front of police officers. Fucking police officers don't indicate when they're going straight through a roundabout.
No, they don't.
Because you're going straight through.
Well, the next thing is where a lot of people don't indicate. When you go on Glenmore Road, there's a point you've gone over the train tracks, and then the continuing road's going to the bridge to the right. You actually curve around.
Yes.
No one indicates left to go straight.
Mm-hmm.
Legally, you have to indicate left to go straight.
Mm-hmm.
because it's not the continuing road.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yes.
It's the same at Five Ways.
Yeah, with a 5-way intersection that small.
Oh yeah, it's not a big thing. No. But as I said, I as far as I'm concerned, when it comes to the cops and pulling people over for inappropriate driving, they just don't. Because I have literally seen people literally break the law in front of police officers, and they've just gone, "Oh yeah, no, chasing them would be a bit of a hassle."
Technically, over-revving your engine's enough for them to pull you over.
Technically, but they only do that if they feel like it.
Yeah,
or if you've got a car that would be a good story about it.
Ideally, I try not to. There has been a couple of occasions where it's like, oh, there's a cop there. They've never pulled me over.
Dude, as I said, I have seen people literally do things that are illegal. I have seen them go, like, from a turning lane, just shove themselves past cars, like almost crashing into several cars, into a straight-through lane, while a police car is sat there and just going, that seems good to me. It's like, no.
It's very dangerous.
That could have ended in death.
Easily.
Nah, they're fine. That'll be good.
It's a common
I really, I don't like bashing on the police because they do sometimes have a hard job.
Yes.
And I used to know a lot of police officers in Victoria where the police did a good job. At least from my perspective, every time we had to, interact with them, it wasn't bad. Yeah. But literally here in Queensland, every time we've had to interact with the police, it has been the worst thing. Whether it be fucking, they just never turn up when you call them, and they just like, oh yeah, no, we sent someone. It's like, well, no, you didn't. Oh, maybe you just missed them. I called them to my house where I live and I was at.
It's like a cop wanted to get me once for having a straight exhaust. I'm like, I don't have a straight exhaust. No, you've got a straight exhaust. I can hear it. No, this is a stock standard thing. This is what they put on the car.
Yeah.
No, it's not. He dropped to the ground and he's like, I mean, it doesn't look like one, but he still wanted to get me for it.
Yeah, but and then other times where it's been like, when the house got broken into, right?
Yeah.
They came over and they're like, oh, this and that and all, like, this wasn't the police, this was after the police, but it was like the police people who come round after and be like, oh, your house was broken into recently, here's a checklist you can have for this shit, and they're like, oh, there's a ladder out the front, and I was like, yes, because the dad has a thing so he can hang a ladder above the cars.
Yes.
Because it's a fucking 5 meter long extension ladder.
Yes.
Where do you keep those? So he hangs it up underneath the giant garage, and they went, oh yeah, they could get that down. I went, you've come here. I'm like, I looked at the time, like, it's 12 o'clock in the morning. Everyone is at work. I'm here. And I heard you walking up the thing and came and went, can I help you? And you think someone can steal that ladder? Oh yeah, but at night time when you're not sitting here, I'm like, at night time there are cars parked all here. You can't actually get that ladder down without moving all the cars. Oh yeah, but you could get it down. No, you couldn't. Okay, but yeah, you could get it down and you make it easier to break into your house. Like, no, you couldn't. No. And I'm like, so what you've done is you've come here. You've come here during a fucking heightened time of youth crime, because that's what we're living through.
Yes. And
you've gone, oh, it's your fault. You've gone, it's your fault you got broken into. Not our fault. We're the police, and we're not doing our fucking job.
It's your fault. I mean, they didn't even grab the ladder or attempt to grab the ladder.
No, they literally just lifted a little kid up to the window, and I was just like, what? And I was like, yeah, no, they're not getting into our house with a ladder. After they lifted the little kid through the window, we put secure. Oh yeah, but what about all your neighbours? I'm like, well, if they needed 5 meter extension ladder to break into all the single story houses around us, they must be pretty fucking short. And these fucking people were just like, oh, but this then, and I was just like, you know what, fuck off. And they were just like, what? And I was like, just leave. I don't want you here. Get off my property. And they were just like, oh, but we're here to do, and I'm like, I'll take a piece of paper, now get the fuck out of here. Because I was just like, you people come here and you're like, oh, but this and that, and oh yeah, but have you thought about this? And it's like, yes, obviously we've thought about this.
Yeah.
That's why we have fucking security cameras all over the fucking shop.
Yes.
That's why we have this. That's why every time there's a fucking crime in the area, the police come here and be like, "Oh, can we have a look at your security camera footage?" And I'm going, I don't see why it's my job to get your criminals.
Yes.
But yeah, it's fucking. Oh, it just annoys the shit out of me because it's like, oh yeah, but this and that. I was just like, just fuck off. Fuck off.
Yep.
Go annoy someone else. You come here and you're like, oh yeah, we're affiliated with the police service. See, we get to wear hats with the police thing and this, and we're all old retired people who just like to busybody. And it's like, fuck off.
Yeah.
No one wants you here. Go away. Go hang out with your children. Oh wait, they probably don't want you around either. Fucking busy. Oh yeah, I was just like, I'm like, okay, so you come here and you're fucking having to go at me about a ladder that's hanging up. Yes. I'm like, where would you like me to put it? I could put it here on the ground. Oh, that would make it easier for them to get. No shit, Sherlock. But you were a good police officer back in the day.
Yeah, I think you were.
It's like, it's just like, you understand. Because I think my car was actually parked under the ladder. I'm like, they'd have a pretty hard time getting it off. And they went, oh no. I'm like, well, I need to move the car out. And then it takes 2 people to get it down with the car gone. And they were like, oh, but you could get it down. And I'm like, no, you couldn't.
No, it'd be very... I mean, there's a slight possibility, but you'd be damaging the cars as well.
Well, like, yeah, at that point, they've dropped the ladder on the car, the alarm's going off.
It's pretty obvious that they're...
Yeah, I'm just like, oh, but they could get it. And I'm like, yeah, they could get it. Maybe they could get it right now, but you'd be pretty suspicious of the 10 kids walking around with a foam 5-meter extension ladder. I'm like, also, it's a foam 5-meter extension. It's heavy as fuck. But you think they're going to carry it around all day? No.
Even then, if you see a bunch of kids walking around with a 5-meter extension ladder,
arrest them.
Yes.
No, it's like I said. When I'm driving around, admittedly, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm a fat fuck and going to get my McDonald's. Mm-hmm. And I see like 10 fucking kids, with the oldest of them being like 14, walking the streets, and I go, well, they're breaking into houses.
Oh, yeah.
And the police are just like, oh yeah, we're trying to... It's like, okay, how about this, police? Send a car out, just roam the streets, just, drive around. And if you see a bunch of kids, and it's past, let's say, 11 o'clock, say, excuse me, children, where is your adult? And they say, not here. You say, well, how about we fucking take you to them?
Yes.
And they go, oh yeah, but it won't work because they'll just leave house again. It's like, yes, keep fucking doing it. And on the third time you go to the parents and say, look, if we catch these kids out there fucking again, we'll be charging you with negligence.
That's pretty much it.
And it's like, but how could we stop this kid's crime? How about we fucking say, look, if there is a gang of children under the age of 16 roaming the streets after 11 o'clock at night, we just suspect them of, being untoward. Oh, that's not right. You can't do that.
They shouldn't be out
there.
They're
under the age of 16 after 11 o'clock. They shouldn't be roaming the streets.
No.
They should, Oh, well, that would be wrong. That would be profiling them. I'm not saying you do it to one type of kid. If you see a bunch of kids out with their parents and it's after 11 o'clock at night, you can say, oh, well, they're with their parents. We don't have to worry about that. But if you just see a group of young children roaming the streets and it's, I don't know, let's say 1 o'clock at night, maybe you think to yourself, I wonder what they're doing.
Yes.
Most people would be tucked up in bed right now, but here are 10 to 15-year-olds roaming the street.
Because let's face it, most people that aren't 10 to 15, at that time of night, if it's a Friday or Saturday, they're probably walking home from the pub or the clubs. Either one. Everyone else is driving. It's pretty straightforward.
Like I said, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck who the kids are. I don't give a fuck if they're fucking wearing Gucci and Armani suits. If they're under the age of 16 and they're roaming around after 11 o'clock without any adult-ish supervision, like literally just a group of kids, I don't think it's incorrect and immoral to be like, what are you doing, kids?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we're going from his house to his house. Okay, so where's his house? Why are you on the bridge?
Yeah. But you shouldn't be crossing the bridge.
No,
That shouldn't be
our
the
parents said we could go from our house to his house at 11 o'clock at night. You know, maybe, you know, at that late hour, and it's if they've got to cross the fucking bridge, you should be questioning why the parents are letting them roam the streets.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe take them home and be like, yo, don't let your kids out walk. If they want to go from his house to his house, drive them.
Yeah.
Oh no, that'd be an inconvenience to us. Well, look, mate, fucking grow up and parent.
Yep.
Don't let your kids wander the street late at night. Bad things happen.
Well, that's the
And
thing.
if they're not, if they're not the bad thing that's going to happen, they're not the ones breaking into shit. You don't want them out there where something bad could happen.
That used to be the thing. It used to be the thing that the parents were like, "No, you're not allowed to roam around at night because you might get kidnapped." Nowadays, it's like, well, what are they going to do? They'll drop them back. They're too annoying. They're annoying us. They're going to drop them back. No.
Yeah, so I don't think it's controversial to, look at a bunch of preteens
And annoyingly,
roaming the street and be like,
you shouldn't be out.
it's very late at night. There is not a single adult around them.
And it's not going to be as simple as the cop pulling up, going, "How old are you guys?" 17. Okay, off you go. No.
Can we see ID? We don't have ID. Right, where's your home? We're taking you there. As I said, it's...
Yeah, the moment there's like no ID, yep, off you go. Because here's the thing. Schools give out IDs now.
Everyone gives out IDs.
So it's the thing of like, if you like, I don't have ID, it's like, okay, so you don't have your school ID yet? And if they hand you a school ID, it's take them home.
Why are you roaming the streets without identification? One might think you're up to something suspicious.
Mm-hmm.
But as I said, will it stop the crime thing? No. But it will reduce it if we're just looking at things and being like, this seems highly suspicious.
Yes.
And people go like, but times have changed. It's not crazy for 10-year-olds to be roaming the street at 1 o'clock. Yes, it fucking is. A 10-year-old should be in bed at 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
They literally need the sleep.
Yeah.
It's not an insanity. It's literally just being like, look, we know kids have been doing all these crimes. Are we saying you're committing them? No, because you're not being arrested. What you're doing is being taken home.
Yes.
Because we would hate for you to be confused for the kids doing these crimes. And guess what? If they aren't the kids doing the crimes,
You've just stopped it.
you've at least taken them home. So, when they're out again later that night and the next lot take them home, they can go, you've been out twice now. It's not going to do anything because, they're just... The legal system in our country is so fucked up that there's no non-incentivification to not commit crimes anymore.
True.
It's like, you'll go to jail. It's probably nicer than where you're renting.
Probably. Let's face it.
And it won't cost you a goddamn thing.
Very similar thing at job sites. Not job sites, just jobs in general.
Oh, yeah.
Jobs in general. Well, if you're a poor employee, you're not going to get hit with anything. If you're a good employee, well, guess what? They're going to use you to show what they can do.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
To pull it, they'll use you to pull everyone else in line. It's like, yeah, but you just got... those three do it every day. I did it once. Huh?
Yeah.
It's like, yes, but if we get up them for doing it, no one will care because everybody knows that it's them. Because it's you. They know we'll do something. It's like, but
Well, it's
you
like
want
I
to
had
do something.
Talking about jobs, right? Talking about jobs because we can.
Yeah.
Even though we really should be wrapping this up. But let's have it quick. Because I always find it funny. And I've said this to many people. But I always find it really funny when someone's like, when you go for a new job and they're like, we want a manager from your last job. No. But we need someone in management. Do you ever consider that the reason that I'm applying for a job with you
It's because
the manager at my last job made working there shit? Oh no, he didn't actually.
No.
It's like, I understand them wanting character references and stuff to prove that you're a good person and they don't want your family and they don't want your friends.
It's fair.
But when it comes to people from employment, you really should just be able to put someone who you worked with, because you might not want your boss to know that you're looking for other jobs. Because if they're shit enough that they've made you want to look for other jobs, which may not have that much of a price increase, like pay increase, it's very, like, I know people go like, oh, you know, you get a new job, it pays you more. That's not really what happens anymore. Yeah. Unless you're going from an unskilled job to a skilled job, generally you're going for about the same money, if not slightly worse, because you're leaving a job you've been working at for a while for a job that you're literally just starting, so you haven't got like pay increases and stuff that you would get through your other job.
And it's not to say all.
So sometimes you are actually taking a pay cut, and they go, "Oh yeah, we want to hear from your manager." It's like, I'm literally taking a pay cut. Do you think that's because I really want to work for you, or do you think it's because I really can't stand working for the other prick?
Yeah.
And do you want me to use him to sell me to you?
And because he's just found out that you're leaving,
he's
we're
an even
not
bigger
going
prick.
to give you the best.
Or he can just be an even bigger prick to you because he's found out that you're leaving, and it's ha ha ha. I just go like, the way that we go about jobs is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, we want to hear from a previous manager. Why? Because they'll be able to tell you how good you were at working. Right, I worked in a large company. They probably didn't even know my name because I wasn't a fuck up and I wasn't a kiss ass.
Sorry. When I do eventually leave, the references will be coming from two of the managers. Only because one of them I trust, and I walked up to him and I'm like, yeah, no, can you be a reference? And he's like, yep, yeah, of course. Just, you've got my name and number. Just, there you go. And then another one overheard me saying it to him, and he came up to me while I was on break, and he's like, oh, you're planning on leaving? I'm like, yeah, thinking about it. And he's like, well, if you want it, I'll be a reference for you as well.
I'm going to sabotage you.
He's a pretty decent guy. So obviously if I get a new job, the YouTube becomes the new job. He won't be my reference. I
will sabotage you like shit.
That's it, this is why.
Kris, never met the guy. Oh yeah, no, it says here he was on my books. Never showed up a single day. Weird.
Dude, you've been paying him for years.
What can I say? I just pay anyone who sends me a fucking... Did you actually hear about that? That was like one of the craziest things ever. For years and years. Like, this is a long time ago. Like, people on the internet would all probably know about this. There was just a dude in some country who would send invoices to Google.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
And Google would just... Because they Google, they would just pay them. Because they weren't like crazy invoices. It wasn't like, it was like 20 grand. It was like, you know, like... every month or something, he might send like, I don't know, a couple, like $1,000 or $2,000 or something like that. Like nothing crazy, but just enough that Google will get it and be like, pay. Yep. Like it's not even worth checking what this invoice is for. It's just a little invoice. We get invoices all the time. Pay it.
Yeah.
Then eventually they cottoned on to it, and the guy got charged by the FBI and everything for like securities fraud or something like. I can't remember what it was, but I love that because it was just a dude who was like. The worst thing in this situation, no, apparently he was wrong. The worst thing in this situation was not Google just going like, we're not paying this. The worst thing was Google going, yeah, pay it. And then eventually someone being like, hang on, we should look into this. How many millions of dollars have we sent this guy? But yeah, Google's just such a big company that they're just literally like, you could probably get away with sending them one invoice for a decent yet not massive sum, and they'd probably pay it. You wouldn't want to do it multiple times because then the FBI will get you.
Oh yeah.
But
and if you're unlucky enough, the FBI will get you on the first time.
But yeah, Google literally were just getting invoices and just being like, yeah, pay it.
Yeah.
Pay it. And apparently people do it all the time to like places.
Yeah.
There was even a guy who like got caught and went, oh no, that wasn't actually. It was supposed to be a I didn't mean to send you an invoice. I meant to send you a kind of like a quote.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
My mistake, silly me, and because it was just like sending all the restaurants in an area like a $200 invoice just to see if anyone would pay it, because you know like 3 or 4 of them pay it. Is one day of work's made him $600.
That's true.
But, you know, and again, when he got caught for it, he just went, oh, no, it was supposed to be a quote. You know, I was quoting you for the work, What work? Oh, I sent it to the wrong person. My bad. But yeah, no, I was like, fuck, a lot of people actually try that. Like, they just go to big companies and just send them invoices and just hope, fingers crossed, that they just get it. And if they're a big enough company, go, this is such an insignificant amount of money, we're not even going to chase up what this invoice is for. Just pay it.
Unless you're an employee, which close, they will chase it up.
And then, the craziest thing that I think is if you do it enough, they just start expecting the invoice. Because apparently that is what happened with this Google guy. He was just, they were getting it, he was sending it to them every month or whatever, and they were just like, oh, yep, here's the one for this amount, off to that company. Who are they? Oh, they're probably a regional contractor or something. Rightio, send them money.
Okay. Jesus Christ.
And then, you know, like, it's a crazy thing to think that you could just one day just go like, I'm going to send this company an invoice, and get to the point where they're literally like, yeah, no, this is just one of the invoices that we pay every time.
Jeez, that's
insane.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
We live in a weird world. But yeah, we also live in a world where the people paying have no idea what companies actually, what they're paying for.
Yeah.
And don't chase up. They just don't care enough. Unless it's a massive chunk, like, okay.
Yeah.
unless it's a hit, like, again, Google, you know. Because, like, think about it like this, right? Google would pay YouTubers.
Yeah.
Google pays YouTubers all the time.
Yeah.
Now, they could be paying anything from $100 or less than $100.
Yeah.
But they could be paying from, like, 1 cent to thousands of dollars every month to all of these people across the globe. And, like, I know a lot of people are like, oh, there's not that many YouTubers. There are. It's just there's a lot more people trying to be YouTubers. It's like the percentage of YouTubers to people trying to be YouTubers is crazy. But the actual percentage of YouTubers is massive.
Yeah, when you actually look at the
if you actually look at the numbers of people who are actually making a living off YouTube, and it's like, oh, it's only the top, like, 2% of people on YouTube. It's like, yeah, but there are so many people on YouTube. That's you know, people making a living off YouTube is probably in the hundreds of thousands.
Yeah, probably.
If not higher.
Let's face it, most of
think about it even like this. The YouTubers that we're aware of, that are big names, are only big names in English-speaking countries.
Yes.
There's a lot more countries out there that do not speak English.
Yes.
And, you know, do you think Markiplier is massive in Spain where they can't even fucking understand him? No, they probably have a Spanish guy who's...
I'd have a base there. I think he's got a base around the whole world, but it's the thing is, we're looking at it, and you look at just the people you subscribe to, most of them are living off YouTube.
Well, I was thinking of...
Like, I know most
there was something a while back that brought it to my attention the first time I ever actually thought about it, and it was like, oh yeah, this is like this massive YouTuber who has millions of views a month. And I was like, whoa. And it was like, oh yeah, they're in this country. And I was like, point taken.
Yeah.
YouTube, yeah. Like, I think it was something about a German guy. And I was just like, never heard of him. But, obviously, if you live in Germany, you don't want to... Obviously, you want to enjoy your media in the language you speak. Same as here in Australia. We prefer our media in English. Because it makes it easier to consume. So,
well, not all of us. Not nowadays.
But, you know, having the media in your language makes it easier to consume. So it's like people go like, oh yeah, there's not that many YouTubers. And it's like, oh no, you're talking about only the English section. And there are quite a few YouTubers whose job is to be a YouTuber. Sure, they might not be making millions of dollars a year doing it.
Oh, let's face it, there's a lot that hire many people.
But... Exactly.
Because like once a lot of there's quite a few YouTube channels that do it. Once they get big enough on one, they make a second one.
But
so they might
like, do, like something that I find funny is like people go like, oh, you know, there's not that many people making a living. It's like you've got to understand that if you are earning more on YouTube than you would at a minimum wage job, you are making a living off YouTube.
Yeah, and you...
Fuck, if you're making, like... Well, let's think about Australia. If you're making more than about $3,000 a month in Australia, you're probably earning more than someone on minimum wage off YouTube.
Yeah, no,
you don't have to really be that popular to be doing that. Sure, you're not buying Lamborghinis and mansions off that kind of money, but you are living.
Yeah.
So, something to think about. I think more...
And the thing is, you're also saving cost as well, because you don't have to go anywhere.
Yeah, I think a lot of people don't realise, but if you watch someone on YouTube, majority of the time they're making a living off YouTube.
Yeah.
If they're big enough that you're actually watching them and you watch them regularly, you're probably making a living off it.
Yeah. It's like, as I said, like with the people that make multiple accounts, they might do what we've done here, and it's just three a week. That's it. Then they'll actually make a second account.
Mm-hmm.
So that way...
Or you become Simon Whistler and have like 10 channels, and...
Exactly. So, and you would make money off every channel. So it's like, it's legitimately just that thing of... Like, I know someone who's like... He's got a channel that he started by himself, and he ended up bringing his brother into it, and then his brother-in-law. They both... No, it's not Logan Paul. Then they ended up quitting their jobs because, like, you know what, they were like at a point of like, oh, we could quit our jobs and do this full time, but we're hoping we get bigger. Within a year or two, they were big enough that they had like 4 channels.
Look, as I've said to you many
each of them
times
had
about
many people.
this, you know, draw back the curtain. If we ever actually start making money off this, yeah, that'll, you know, that'll change everything.
Oh yeah, of course.
Because that means that instead of this just being a sunken cost, like everything that I spend on this is pretty much at the moment just same as spending money on anything else. Really, I'm not getting anything back from it. I'm just being a consumer.
Yes,
but if it ever
that's
actually
how you
starts making, if it ever actually starts making money, well then we're in a position where we can actually start thinking about doing other things.
Yes.
You know, like if we can actually start making money, then we don't have to work as much, which means that we can start putting out more content.
Correct.
You know, as I've always said to you, if I can actually start paying you, I can actually start getting you to pull your weight.
Yeah, show up for the videos. Show up to record.
But yeah, no, like that. I don't know. It's just one of those things where it's like you hear about it all the time because, like, and it's true. Most people who post on YouTube aren't making money. Although, again, a lot of people who post on YouTube aren't actually putting up anything of theirs. They're literally just putting up, hey, here's a song I listened to and I downloaded and I'm putting up on YouTube.
I feel like the first video you're going to get me to edit will have the sync in the middle of the video.
I think
with a screwed up one.
I think the first video I'm going to get you to edit is a fucking Bunny Man.
Oh, come on. Oh, man. That's fair. That's fair after...
No sync needed, but... But yeah, like, so, like, people go like, oh, yeah, not that many people can make a living off YouTube, this, that, all the rest. I'm like, yeah, but sometimes you've got to pull back that curtain and actually understand what YouTube actually is compared to how many people are making a living.
Yeah.
Like, I can't remember the stat, but it's something like every minute 500 hours of YouTube is being uploaded.
Sounds about right.
Or something crazy like that. It could be like every minute 500 minutes. It's ridiculous. Yeah. It's like something like if you didn't use their algorithm that they use to do the job it does and tried to replace it with people, after like a day they'd be 20 days behind or something.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. I can't remember the exact figures because I looked at them a long time ago. But like when you think about it like that and people go like, oh yeah, but only 1% can actually make it. It's like, yeah, but
still a lot of people.
That's just because of the sheer amount of content. And like, you know, oh yes, well, you know, some of this content is like someone posting a single video
and they never post it again.
And they never post again. Well, of course that person's not going to make a living. Meet the fundamental requirement.
Like what your actual first account is.
Oh yeah, I had to make that for university.
Exactly.
I literally had to post it on YouTube for university. So
and there'd be heaps of that.
Yeah.
Which will it get views? Eventually, probably
7, because you had to view it. You had to view other people's.
Yeah, so there you go. So it had to get a couple.
And the teachers, of course, had to view it.
Well, yes, of course.
The market.
That's obvious reasons.
But yeah, but it's like, there's one that I have. I think it had like 30 views, and I was just like, this is an architectural assignment. There was like 20 people in the class with me. Why does it have so many views? You only had to view two of other people's and pretty much just write down what they were to prove you had been there, and you didn't watch it. But yeah, this one had like heaps of views, like crazy amount of views for what it should have had, considering it was literally just a rotation of a building that I designed.
Yeah.
And I was just like, huh?
Weird.
It's like
Then
someone
again-
found it and was like, interesting.
You get heaps like that. You get stuff like Nick and Jordan, where Nick will only put something up if he finds it really funny, and
True.
I doubt he's up.
I wish we had that level of integrity. Oh, fuck.
What are you talking about? We are funny.
I'm hilarious.
But yeah, no. And then Jordan, he's put up like 3 videos, but that was when we were back in school.
Oh, yeah.
So-
Look, as I said, I am under no illusions that we might never make any money off doing this. However, at the moment, I enjoy doing it. It
Yeah.
can be frustrating.
Yes,
Especially
with me.
It's like, oh yeah, it's a bit of a lark, really. It's a laugh when we're fucking around, and okay, we're not groundbreaking, we're not doing anything that's never been done before, but
No.
I enjoy it. I enjoy wasting my time doing it,
Yeah.
and it's more productive than almost anything else I've ever done wasting my time at. Like at this point, it's probably even more productive than the several years I spent at university. Because I ain't doing shit with them.
Yeah, no. No, see, this is actually getting some views.
Yeah. Well, hang on. So did the stuff I did. To be fair,
yes.
so all the stuff I've done at university was eclipsed by almost every Bunny Man we've ever done.
Oh yes.
So
yes.
take that architecture degree. You should have just played Bunny Man. Would have got more views.
Oh yes.
But yeah, no. So
Raged
like,
in-
as I said, like absolutely under no auspice that this is where we're getting our money. That this is going to be our job. But at the moment, why not try it?
Yeah, if this ends up being it,
We really should have started during the pandemic. That would have been smart. But
Oh, it would have been good.
when everyone was at home looking for something to do,
Yeah, we weren't doing that.
however, it would have made filming a lot.
Oh, that's right. I wouldn't have been able to.
Yes.
I was run off my feet at work.
Also, you weren't allowed to be with people.
Well, there was that, but that actually wasn't a very long period of time for us.
Yes, but you guys also did break a lot.
Did we?
Yeah, you guys all went over to Jono's one day during the time, and they were like, "Oh no, we're just going over there to celebrate Jono's birthday." And I was like, "You know,
No, I didn't.
I definitely know a few people who did."
Oh, I know there's a few people who did. I'm aware of that. I know I did.
Because it was one of the things. Because you told me that. I went, "No, you're only allowed to have one visitor at the moment," and you were like, "No, they're outside." And I was like, "That's not the rule. The current law is you can have one visitor to the house." And you were like, because you told me that, because I think I asked what everyone was doing, because I think we were going to arrange to play video games.
Yeah.
And you were like, "Oh no, they're all at Jono's," and I was like,
Yeah.
"What?"
Yeah.
Like you're aware we're not actually supposed to. And they're like, "Oh no, they're just going.
It's also
They're
why
just going around there to drink." Was the actual words, and I was like,
Yeah.
"That's definitely not allowed."
So, that's also the reason I didn't go. Because I was always run off my feet at work. So if anyone wanted to do anything, I was like, I know.
But as I said, that was kind of like, because I definitely remember you telling me about it, and I was like, you're like allowed to have one visitor for like half an hour. You're like, "Oh no, they're just going there to drink."
Fairly certain that's what I said to some of them as well.
Jono's invited everyone over to have drinks, and I was like, again, the chances of you getting caught are incredibly slim.
Yes.
However, getting caught is definitely not worth it.
Oh no, hell no.
Especially considering that we, as us, we could have easily sat down, literally turned on a party chat, and sat there drinking and chatting to each other the same way we would ever get at a gathering.
Yeah.
Only difference is you could have left when you felt like it and gone to bed.
Yes.
But yeah, no.
Yeah. That's
As I said, I don't know. Under no illusions that this is definitely the new job, but
yeah.
while we can give it a go, why not? And as I said, we don't have millions of subscribers. We don't have millions of views. Fuck, I think our average watch time is about 10 minutes. We put out videos that are far longer than that.
Yes.
But every little victory makes us that much more determined to continue.
Oh, yeah.
Every new subscriber, we just like awesome. Every time we get a video that has hundreds of watches. We're just like, awesome. This is, you know, people, whether or not they stay, people are actually clicking on our shit. You know, people care. People are watching it, and I think that's great. You know, however long we continue to do this, whether it becomes a full-time thing or it just remains our hobby, as it is at this point in time, it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool to think about, and I think that's, you know, sorry to be a little bit too real there, but.
And the advantage to us, it's not really anything outside of what we do anyway.
No, we sit here and talk shit all the time.
Constantly.
Fuck, I spend about half my life just insulting this motherfucker. So, even when he's not there, I'll just be like, fucking Kris. This is classic Kris. And I was like, who's Kris? And I'm like, not an issue.
Not an issue.
Not an issue, but this is his fault and he will be blamed for it.
Yes.
And they go, fair enough.
Yeah, whatever.
Don't know how he drove a fucking truck off the bridge, but rightio.
It's not his fault.
No, but as I said, look, for the foreseeable future at least, we'll continue to do this.
Yes.
We will keep working on it, and we'll keep getting better. Apparently, it's what happens. You do get better.
Yeah.
The podcast will remain a jumble of nothing for the moment, though.
Yes.
But hey, if we ever do start making money, we'll probably do other podcasts as well.
Maybe.
Kris is really keen to do a football one.
Oh, yeah.
He knows all about the
It's
football.
going to be the best.
And I'm going to
podcast.
take on a Pokemon one.
Ooh.
Because I am the Pokemon.
Yes. Yes.
And if you're questioning that and going, yeah, obviously Darcy's Pokemon, watch the Smash Bros when they come out. I think that one shows perfectly exactly what
with
happened.
me saying names.
Oh yeah, because I honestly don't think that actually is in a lot of our videos, because it's mainly when you're sitting there on your Switch and you're like, I'm playing Pokemon. I'm just like, what are you doing? You're like, I'm trying to catch this. I'm like, no.
You made that up.
It's literally, I can't remember which one it's in. It's in one of the ones that will be coming out soon. So
Definitely.
We'll get a chance to see it. If you are questioning what the fuck we're talking about, watch the Smash Bros that are coming out after this video, because in one of them, Kris actually calls me out on it, and then about 5 seconds later, I do it again.
Actually, I think it was multiple times in the one match. Yeah.
I say something, and then you say, and I go, you made that up, and then you go, you always say that, and then about 5 seconds later, it happens again, and I'm just like, what? And you go, oh, it's that. I go, you. I'm pretty sure I just stop and just insult you, but anyway.
I'm pretty.
Guys,
there was
anyway,
4 to 5.
It's insanity.
It is.
And again, I don't, Pokemon.
Pokemon.
I'll do the Pokemon podcast. Each week we'll talk about a different Pokemon.
You're going to do a whole podcast on a different Pokemon.
Yeah, I'll get 1,000 of them out.
Oh,
I
don't think quite yet.
Well, hang on. There's going to be another game before I even get to like 150 of them.
Especially if it's one.
Because that's 3 years.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point.
Ish. But yeah, so I'll never run out of content.
Well, there's one you probably don't need. Well, no, there's one you could probably just do a standard documentary.
Full documentary.
Flamingo.
This is Flamingo. Wait, no, that's an actual flamingo. Hang on. This is
no, that's not
this
real.
is a recent poke. Oh wait, no, sorry, that's just a doodle I did earlier. Sorry, it's getting hard to tell them apart these days.
Yes.
But, yeah. No, anyway, as always, guys, we have been talking for long enough.
Yes.
Not that we're going to stop after the recording stops. It's just that things are going to get a lot weirder.
Yeah. As they did.
And probably mention Liechtenstein. Klaus! I found out that Liechtenstein's main language is Germany.
Nope. German.
I found out that main language is a different country. No.
Oh, gee.
But yes, we've reached the minimum for what I declare is necessary for a podcast. So thank you for joining us. If you like, share, subscribe, comment, leave games you want us to try out or play. And as always, thank you for joining us. I've been Darcy, joined by Kris.
Yes.
And we will catch you next time.
So.
Goodbye. Klaus. Oh, yes.
Yes.
I've got them.
Yes. As do I.
I can't. I'm thinking my shin hurts. I don't know why. Long shin. Dumbass. Okay, let's get started.
What do you mean wrong shit?
It's this shin.
Who said I was aiming for the one that hurt?
You'd be mistaken to go for the other one.
Why?
Well, it's a shin. It's just going to hurt your fingers to punch. Probably do very little to my foot.
I got a ring on.
Okay, so we'll both end up stabbed. Great.
Yes.
Again, shin. Shin. Hey?
Okay.
I have a scratchy eyebrow now.
Scratchy eyebrow?
Yes.
You also have one strand of hair floating down.
This one?
Oh, wait, no, there's two.
Oh, God. Was just telling me the weather in Emu Park. I'm like, I'm not in Emu Park. Weird. Where the emus are.
Never seen an emu out there. Ever?
You're around there.
What's that?
Like, literally around there. They make a perimeter.
Oh, I said play.
But they saw an emu once. They went, emu.
Emu Park.
Yes. And they
Yeah.
went, we shall name this place after the emu we saw.
Just the
And
one.
all the emus went, fuck off. We don't want to be here anymore.